Kim, we reported that a student secretly recorded a class lecture by Salcido in which he, the teacher, appears to insult the U.S. military. Let's listen to that.
Have electricity. We had all our freaking night vision goggles, all that kind of stuff, and we can't freaking control these dudes wearing freaking robes and chanclas. Because we got a bunch of dumb over there. They're not like high-level thinkers, they're not academic people, they're not intellectual people. They're the freaking lowest of our low.
The lowest of our low. That was the word from the teacher, apparently recorded by a student. Let's go to CBS LA's Randy Paige. He's been covering this story for us today. Randy?
Sandy, you can imagine with remarks like that, we are getting a very strong response from a lot of different areas, even as far as the East Coast. But for this very moment, we want to show you that a lot of deputies have showed up. The kids are just starting to get out of school, and they want to make sure that there are no problems. As you can imagine, earlier today we spoke to Mayor Gustavo Camacho, who was extremely critical of these remarks. In fact, he told us he is choosing to remove Councilmember Salcido from all of the committees. And he said while he could not be removed from the council because that would be up to the people of Pico Rivera, that all of the other council members are unanimous in their condemnation of these remarks. Also, of course, the school district has denounced these remarks and says an investigation is underway. We have reached out to Councilmember Salcido, and he has not responded. But we also want to make it clear that there are a number of his students coming to his defense. In fact, there's a whole Twitter campaign called Justice for Sauce, which may be his nickname. We're not really sure, but it is the Twitter hashtag which they are using to support him. So there are a number of students here who are very much in supportive of him, but really a lot of condemnation. We spoke to a veteran, for example, outside, who had very strong comments to say, saying he risked his life for this country, and this teacher doesn't know anything about it. When asked about issues related to freedom of speech, both the mayor and the veteran we spoke to had the same answer, and that is, of course, everyone has a right to freedom of speech. The First Amendment is important, but they believe it is not appropriate for a teacher to bring these kinds of personal remarks into a classroom. Again, we have not yet heard back from council member and teacher, history teacher Salcido, but it is really clear that a huge firestorm has erupted. And for example, we did see that a Gold Star mom on the East Coast has commented on it. We're seeing a lot of response coming from Washington, D.C., and it's also worth noting it is becoming somewhat political because we do see in much of the coverage that he is identified as being a Democrat, particularly by many of the people on the East Coast who are commenting on this. So this is really gathering a lot of steam, and it's unclear where it's going to end, but it is really clear that the school district and the city government here are denouncing what he had to say. The only question is, what does he have to say about what he really meant by those things? And so far, he's just not telling us anything. Let's go back to you.
Yeah, Randy, you mentioned that a lot of people are supporting him, also questioning what he said on social media. I saw some of the tweets, and people are asking that he actually be fired. And they're urging people to call the school district, call his bosses, and say that he should be fired. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, the school district isn't commenting beyond a statement, but it is clear that there was a whole process when it comes to personnel. So we'll have to see how that plays out.